Back in Indianapolis, where the Colts have won 11 consecutive regular season home games, matching their franchise record. The Buccaneers have won the toss. Mark Jones and Michael Clayton back deep for Tampa Bay. Adam Vinatieri will get things started for the 4-0 Colts. And we are underway in Indianapolis. Jones 3 yards deep in the end zone. Mark Jones stumbles across the 20 out to the 24-yard line. So Jeff Garcia will lead the Buccaneers offense out. First quarterback in NFL history to start a game for 5 different teams, 5 consecutive seasons. He is without his starting left tackle and his starting running back. So Michael Pittman and Ernest Graham will share the load in the backfield.
Dwight Freeney, you got to find out where he is on every snap. They're going to do some different things. Expect some chips, some tight ends over there.
For the Colts offensively, they will need a big game out of Dallas Clark with all of the injuries.
And we talked about these guys knowing the scheme, but Cato June really knows what the personnel can do for the Indianapolis Colts, being a former teammate.
Garcia complete on first down to Joey Galloway, gain of 4, setting up second down and 6.
And again, it's going to be about patience today. I think the offense that exemplifies and has the most amount of patience during the course of the game is going to come out on top, and you can see it by the short control passing game. This kind of fits in well with the offense that John Gruden has installed in Tampa Bay. It stretches the field horizontally. It's not a big vertical threat.
This is Ernest Graham, who had a big game a couple of weeks ago against the Rams. Not much on his first carry today.
The biggest assets the Colts have is running to the ball, guys. These guys are like ants. Everybody says they're undersized, but when that ball is out there, everybody is sprinting to the ball. They gang tackle. That's how you get turnovers. That's how you make things happen in this league.
Yeah, you won't see a tackle being made without 2 or 3 other guys in that film. I mean, they are moving to the ball. It's all based on speed and pursuit.
Colts without 3 starters on defense, including safety Bob Sanders. Third down and 6. Bucs have to get to the 34 for a first down. Garcia in trouble. Down he goes. Dwight Freeney, pressure initially from Raheem Brock, and then Freeney brought Garcia down.
When you get into 3rd and long situations, they've got the green light. Look at the speed that Dwight Freeney has. He's your right defensive end. He's looping all the way around the defensive formation, over between the right guard and center, and still has the speed and the athletic ability to get there in time to disrupt that protection.
So Josh Bidwell back to punt for the Bucs. Profonso Thorpe making his NFL debut. Back deep for the Colts. Thorpe gets to the outside. Big return into Bucs territory. Finally knocked out of bounds by Torrey Cox. The first play of Profonso Thorpe's NFL career, and he returns the punt 29 yards.
When you're covering a punt and you're one of the outside guys in that cover scheme, you have got to feel if the person responsible from you has drifted to your outside. And when you see that return coming your way, you've got to fight back through that block and reestablish your contain. The outside contain on the left side for Tampa Bay's coverage unit got pinned to the inside, and that allowed Profonso Thorpe to turn that corner.
And it allows Peyton Manning and the Colts to start from the Buccaneers 42. Kenton Keith starting in the backfield for Joseph Adai. Play action on first down. Manning with loads of time, and the pass is caught by the tight end Dallas Clark, and he is close to a first down.
Dallas Clark is going to be key today. He's the one guy that's going to be displaced all across this formation, and you can see the feel that he has with Peyton Manning. They've been playing together for 5 years. He still says he's nowhere near where he needs to be ultra effective in this offense, but a good start there, finding that soft spot in the zone.
Clark lined up in the slot. Colts have only 3 wide receivers active today. This is Keith, and Keith picks up a first down. Kenton Keith takes it to the Bucs 26. Former Canadian Football League star, starting today for the injured Joseph Adai.
Well, I think that what Indianapolis is doing, they've got a bye next week. If they can get through this game with Adai and Harrison and Bob Sanders and all the other guys who were banged up, Ben Utek, if they can get those guys 3 weeks rest, That's going to be huge for them going through the season. Now, it's going to be tough. This is a good Tampa Bay team. This defense is playing at the level that they were at in the mid and late 90s.
Again, Clark in the slot. Keith, the lone back, and this is Keith again running right. And Keith takes it down to the Bucs 22. You had a look a moment ago at Joseph Adai. Colts are without Marvin Harrison, their 8-time Pro Bowl receiver. Aaron Moorhead is out, another wide receiver, and they placed Roy Hall on injured reserve today. That's Adai on the left, Moorhead on the right. Ben Utek is out with a concussion, so with all those receivers out, well, maybe we can get into some 2 tight end formations. They've got Brian Fletcher, but it limits them in that personnel group also. 2nd down and 6. Manning's pass is deflected, and it drops incomplete.
The ball is going to come out quick. I mean, you've got to get your hands up. You're not going to get to Peyton very often. He's too smart. His offensive line is very, very good. If you're not going to get there, get those hands up and try and close down those throwing lanes.
It's amazing how tall Peyton is, and he threw that low ball like that.
Third down and 6. Manning fires, caught for a first down by Clark.
It's amazing how quiet this stadium is when that offense is out there.
Well, it's just, they're getting ready to watch, and you have to understand the control that the routes do. You see Reggie Wayne underneath, his little in route right there opens up that throwing lane for Dallas Clark, and you'll see a lot of the combinations, the 2 guys on the outside. They're working in conjunction to free somebody else up.
And a great job by our audio guys to catch the signals from Peyton Manning. From the Buccaneers 12, Keith. Keith out of bounds after gaining 2.
And when you talk to Peyton Manning and you ask him about all the stuff that goes on at the line of scrimmage, you know, some of it is a little bit of smoke and mirrors, but what he's doing is gathering information. But the big thing is, this is a single back offense, and you can come to the line of scrimmage with a play called, and when you get up to the line of scrimmage, it can be a bad play, whether it's a protection or a blitz is coming right into where you're going to run the ball. And that's what he's doing at the line of scrimmage. He doesn't want to take a play that has a potentially bad outcome and continue to run that play. They have limited possessions with this offense during the course of the game.
Tight end Fletcher in the slot, 2nd down and 8. Manning dumps it off to Clark, his 3rd catch, inside the 5, reaches across, touchdown.
That's just great effort, great catch. Not a great thrown ball, but Dallas Clark gets it in and finds the end zone. That's the difference that these guys make, making plays like that, Darryl.
Yeah, I mean, that could be very easily an incomplete pass. And yet Dallas Clark is able to go down and dig this ball out. And then after that, it's really all him. You see, it gets on him quick. Now watch the running right here. Just a good feel, good patience, and the ability to extend that ball over the goal line to break the plane.
Manning 3 completions on the drive. All 3 went to Dallas Clark.
He's going to be the key this afternoon with his partners out.
Vinatieri adds the extra point. Clark with a touchdown in 4 straight games. First time the Bucs have allowed points in the first quarter this season.
Well, we talked about patience by an offense, but here's patience by an individual. Dallas Clark lining up as a tight end. He's in the screen, but he doesn't panic. He gives a little token shove right there, sells it, gets lost in the middle, and then it's just all a great effort of finding out some open running space after he makes a nice little catch. I mean, for some teams, that's going to be 2nd and goal in that situation, but the Indianapolis Colts, you go down, you dig the ball out on a low throw, you find your way, weave you through the defenders, and it's 6 points.
Vinatieri's kickoff taken out of the end zone by Mark Jones. Jones upended shy of the 30 by Dante Hughes. A 30-yard return. So Jeff Garcia and the Buccaneers offense when we come back. Buccaneers without left tackle Luke Pettigrew, so Donald Penn making his first NFL start.
Welcome to the NFL. You're going up against Dwight Freeney, fastest guy coming off the edge in the NFL.
Freeney already has a half sack today. Buccaneers start from the 29, and there is Raheem Brock, who shared that sack with Freeney on the last Bucs possession, getting into the backfield to stop Pittman for a loss of 4.
Raheem Brock coming from the inside right next to Dwight Freeney, and I think that that's one of the things that Dwight Freeney does to an offense. You get so worried about number 93 at times, you better make sure you've got 79, 99, and 91 blocked also.
Garcia having trouble with the noise. He has to walk over the individual players because of the noise factor here in the dome. Pittman wrapped up by Freeney.
And you want to talk about penetration by a defensive line. This is the exact situation that the Colts want. They want points, they want to get up on you, they want to pin you back, put you in a situation where they know you got to come out and try to make big plays, and then they come and they just crush you, Moose.
One of the ways that you can negate speed on the edge is to run right at it. But Dwight Freeney is sneaky strong. You're so worried about that explosiveness and that speed that sometimes you're back on your heels a little bit, and he is a strong, very good at playing leverage.
Buccaneers have gone backwards on their last 4 offensive plays. Garcia's pass is caught by Pittman, takes it up to the 32, but 7 yards shy of the marker, so for the second time, the Buccaneers will punt it away.
Yeah, but just take your medicine. You know, try and get a few positive yards that are going to try and get some field position with a punt and coverage unit. Now, they got to do a lot better job than they did on that last punt because Profonso Thorpe made them pay the last time they kicked the ball. So your offense is just trying to get some positive yards, and now let's punt the ball and get down there in coverage. You can't give Indianapolis a short field. They cannot start in your territory.
They started at the Bucs 42 on their first drive thanks to Thorpe's 29-yard return. Bidwell angling the punt towards the sidelines, does not give Thorpe much running room, and this time he's brought down at the 26 after a 4-yard return. So the Colts are ready with a 7-0 lead. Dallas Clark with the game's first touchdown. Back in Indianapolis, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, and the Goose. Former Colt, Tony Siragusa. Colts leading the Bucs 7-0. Second possession for Indianapolis. They start from their own 26. Kenton Keith takes the first down handoff from Manning. Gains 1 out to the 27-yard line. The Steelers shut out the Seahawks. The Saints remain winless. New Orleans 0-4. How about Washington?
Yeah, boy. Detroit doesn't like playing that NFC East. 56 by Philly, 34 by Washington.
Big comeback by the New York Giants, and the Dolphins drop to 0-5. Second down and 10. Manning gets rid of it, and Clark has his 4th catch. Out of the 32-yard line, a gain of 7.
Just a great feel between Peyton Manning and everybody. I mean, we've got some injuries today, so there's going to be some people out there that don't get the normal repetitions with Peyton Manning, but you watch how this offense functions. It's very simple. I mean, all this stuff at the line of scrimmage makes the viewer think, wow, this must be a complex offense. It is in a way, but it's simple in its formations, it's simple in its plays, it's maybe complicated with the communication at the line, but that's about it.
Third down and 3. Manning fires, and the catch is made for a first down by the rookie out of Ohio State, Anthony Gonzalez. Gain of 11 out to the 44-yard line.
This guy could be something special in this offense. You know, once he gets it, once he understands the subtleties, and it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen in his rookie year, but when he figures this out, he is so good at start, stop, change the direction, and finding those little soft spots in zone coverages.
Reggie Wayne split to the left, Gonzalez to the right, Clark in the slot. Colts keep it on the ground with Keith. Talk about bloodlines. Kenton Keith is cousins with both Roger Craig, former great 49er running back, and Amon Green.
Not too shabby. You got to see those high knees that Roger Craig ran with. See if Kenton's got those.
Grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Attended New Mexico State, making his first NFL start. Had a big game last week, 80 yards against the Denver Broncos. Colts rushed for over 200. Second down and 7, high snap. Manning fires, and the catch is made by Reggie Wayne. His first catch in Buccaneers territory, a first down.
We get enamored with Peyton Manning and the wide receivers and the skill players in this offense, but this offensive line does a tremendous job week in and week out. And whether it was Edgerrin James or now Joseph Adai, Dominic Rhodes for a couple of seasons, you know, you put Keith back in there when Joseph Adai's out. They never seem to miss a beat. The one constant, those 5 guys up front.
From the 45, here's Keith. Able to gain just 1. Derek Brooks made the tackle for the Bucs.
The Bucs are doing a good job, the defensive line, of getting some pressure. I mean, you're not going to get to Peyton Manning, but we saw earlier tip ball, got to get your hands up. They are getting to him a little bit of pressure on him. But Moose, you said it earlier, you got to be patient. Your time is going to come. You got to keep going at him. You can't let them discourage you.
No, just be sound in what you're doing. Once you lapse, one of the things that Peyton Manning is very good at is taking advantage of any mistake you have.
Manning pump fakes, throws, catch is made out of the backfield by Keith. And a good effort by the Bucs defensively, as they do not allow Keith to pick up a first down. He gained 7. And Peyton Manning, guys, has started this game 7 for 8.
They got the rotation going. Big guys out. I mean, these are long drives. You got to go and get some water on the sideline because they are not going to stop. That offensive line is like a machine, like you said earlier, Darryl. Water is very important.
They're down at 2. Keith. Again, a terrific job by the Bucs. Their defense has been outstanding over the first 4 weeks. Crowd wants the Colts to go for it.
They always do. Looks like the Colts are going to send a message early in the game.
This would be a 53-yard field goal attempt. Peyton Manning asking for quiet from the crowd. Wayne shifting. 4th down and 1. Again, it's Keith, and he has the first down.
And there's an example of the patience of Peyton Manning and just getting into a good play. Now, when they broke the formation, they had their wide receivers on the outside. They were one-on-one. Those are some of the situations that when he was young, he would look for, because that gives him an opportunity to get the ball down the field. Greg White's still late getting up off of that, but he motions Reggie Wayne back into the formation to secure the blocking, runs the ball, gets the first down, gets 3 more downs for this offense.
The Colts have controlled the clock as they usually do. The Bucs still looking for their first down. Greg White, the injured punt, replaced by the first-round pick out of Clemson, Gaines Adams. 1st and 10 Colts for the Bucs 34. Off the play fake. Manning to the near side, and the catch is made by Reggie Wayne. He breaks free, breaks away from Rondé Barber, and is able to pick up a first down. Good second effort by Wayne, gain of 11.
I think there's certain plays that Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne or Marvin Harrison, if he's in the game, these guys could throw and complete with their eyes closed. It's the stretch play to the right. Peyton Manning knows that if there's nothing there on the front side, he's got Reggie Wayne on the backside. You sell it deep on Rondé Barber. Rondé a little lazy there because the play's going away. Peyton can't get that ball all the way back to this side. But these guys have done it so many times. They're so good at it.
Now in the backfield for the Colts, the rookie out of Harvard, Clifton Dawson. Manning to the air on first down. Second catch for Gonzalez. And he dives close to the 15-yard line. Pickup of 7. And Manning on this drive is 6 for 6.
precision right now, and just, you know, we'll talk about it during the course of the game, the patience that he has. Tampa Bay is not going to let him get something over the top. He's not going to force it. He's going to work the underneath coverage, and as soon as he tries your patience enough and you jump something short, he's going over the top on you.
Clark in the slot. Second down and 3. Dawson the lone back. Manning to Wayne. First and 10 from just outside the 10. And this is Dawson. His first NFL carry. Holds the Ivy League record for career rushing yards. And Dawson took it down to the 7. And now the teams will switch sides. First quarter comes to an end in Indianapolis. Peyton Manning off to a great start. He is 10 of 11. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Welcome back. Colts leading the Buccaneers 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, and Tony Siragusa. Peyton Manning in the first quarter, 10 of 11, touchdown pass to Dallas Clark. This will be the 14th play of this drive for the Colts. Second and 6 from the 7. Off the play fake, Manning to the end zone. Reggie Wayne was the intended receiver. There was contact, and there is a flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball places the 1 yard line. Automatic. First down.
That's on Rondé Barber, the first penalty of today's game.
They're at the top of the screen. Number 87, Reggie Wayne. Rondé Barber. Pass interference, illegal contact. They go with the big one. First and goal at the 1.
Manning calling for different personnel. Looked over to the sidelines. Colts send in Luke Lawton and a tackle-eligible Charlie Johnson. Wayne and Gonzalez exit. First and goal from the 1. Kent Keith. Oh. Touchdown Colts. The first touchdown of Kenton Keith's NFL career.
Well, you bring in Charlie Johnson as a tackle eligible. So he's going to line up at tight end, and then you put a wing. Here they are, all to that right side. Tackle, tackle, tight end. You fake your initial movement with the ball to that side, and then you run a misdirection back to the other side. Just nice play calling, nice design. Get everybody thinking about that. Hey, they're overloaded to this side. I'm leaning a little bit that way, and here it comes the other direction.
And Vinatieri's extra point attempt is blocked. So early second quarter here in Indianapolis. The Colts lead is 13-0. A 15-play drive. Peyton Manning perfect, 7 for 7, and then Adam Vinatieri for the second time this season had an extra point blocked.
Lot of push right over the center, Justin Snow.
So the Colts lead is 13-0. Coming into the game, Bucs had allowed only 11 points per game this season. Kickoff taken at the 1 by Jones. Up the middle. Mark Jones across the 30. Tackled at the 33-yard line by Dante Hughes.
Well, Justin Snow weighs 240 pounds. Now, you can't line up directly over top of him on his helmet, but you can take his shoulder. And look at all these guys here, and then look at the push they're going to get right through that gap there. The center has to realize that.
That's a lot of weight going. There it goes.
Actually, it ends up being Ryan Lilja that just, you know, there's so much beef right there over top of him. He can't hold up.
The rookie Gaines Adams got a piece of it. Buccaneers go back to work. They've run only 6 offensive plays. Garcia over the top to Ernest Graham. And Graham is tackled at the 38-yard line after picking up 5.
And not just the speed of the linebackers in the secondary in these defenses, but the defensive linemen. I mean, they're rushing the passer. The ball comes out, and they turn and chase. They know that the ball is going to get dumped short a lot of the time. So once they know they're not at the quarterback, that ball is out. They are turning and running.
Colts without 2 starting linebackers today. Rob Morris out for the season, and Freddie Keaho. Graham. Tackled back at the 35-yard line for a loss of 3. Antoine Bethea coming up from the safety position.
Jeff Garcia talked about throwing those small passes. Now these passes, if you keep that defense running, you could try and slow them down, try and get them a little bit out of wind. It's a good game plan, but you got to get first downs if you want that to be successful.
Well, the thing you got to stay out of, Tony, is what they're in right now. You can't get into 3rd and 8 with the speed in that defensive front.
Bucs have to get to the 43. They do not have a first down today. Garcia fires, caught by Ike Hilliard, but he is tackled 3 yards shy of the marker. Kelvin Hayden.
This Colts defense keeps everything in front of them. Great tacklers, all the fundamentals. I mean, this is just Tony Dungy football.
Remember, the only other time Dungy coached against the Buccaneers back in 2003. Colts had to come back in that game with 21 points the last 4 minutes. They beat the Bucs in overtime. Different story today. Indianapolis out on top, 13-0. Bidwell's 3rd punt, and it will give the Colts terrific field position once again.
Well, they're definitely not helping themselves with special teams, whether it's returns or shank punts.
That punt only 25 yards. The Colts machine continues to roll along, Darryl, despite key injuries on both sides of the football.
It's very impressive to watch this offense. It seems like it's not even missed a beat with key guys out.
Manning able to get rid of it. He heard footsteps and was hit from behind by Gaines Adams. Again, the Bucs without Cadillac Williams and Luke Pettigrew. Marvin Harrison missing only the 7th game of his 12-year career. Joseph Adai is out. Bob Sanders. Freddie Keaho.
You'd be thinking about Cadillac Williams. He's got a tough road ahead of him. That's a tough injury to come back from. He's got a lot of rehab coming up. I wish him the best. He's an exciting player. That's a tough one to overcome early in your career.
Manning on 2nd and 10. Oh, Clark! What a hit Clark took from the rookie, Darryl, out of your alma mater, Syracuse, Tenard Jackson. And Clark is shaken up. Wow.
That's one of the things that you don't see Peyton do very often. He doesn't serve up one of his guys, and he served up Dallas Clark on that one. That is a clean, physical hit by Tenard Jackson. Wow, what a big hit.
Colts tight end Dallas Clark took a hard hit from Tenard Jackson on the Indianapolis sidelines. 3rd down and 10 for the Colts. They have to get to the 45-yard line. Manning faked the inside handoff. Now he is going deep, looking for Reggie Wayne. It's picked off by Jackson. Tenard Jackson, one play after his hit on Clark. There's a penalty marker as Jackson returns it all the way to the Colts' 24-yard line. His first NFL interception, and he brings it back 46 yards.
Hey, Manning lost his patience on that one.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 54, on return team. 10-yard penalty to retain possession, first down.
That's on Patrick Chikora. First interception, Darryl, thrown by Peyton in his last 85 pass attempts.
Yeah, but watch how many defenders for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are near this ball. We talked about taking what the defense gives you. There's 3 guys running with him. Barrett Root, Derek Brooks is coming in, and Tanard Jackson has got him from the outside. Comes in on the underthrown ball to intercept it. That patience, you've got to maintain it. Tampa Bay is going to do the exact same thing that Indianapolis has done to the Tampa Bay offense. This defense is going to give you some things underneath. They rely on their speed to rally up. They're good tacklers, and they're going to force you at some point to become impatient. And Peyton Manning in that last play became impatient with what they were doing offensively, trying to make something happen after the big hit on Dallas Clark. And he gives the Tampa Bay offense their chance back on the field.
Now the penalty on Patrick Chikora costing the Bucs 32 yards. Michael Pittman to the 48. And Kurt Manny Ramirez with the walk-off home run in Game 2 as the Red Sox go for the sweep. Garcia complete. Pittman runs into Taiwan Hagler, third-year linebacker out of Cincinnati. He is marked out at the 45, and that is the first Tampa Bay Buccaneers first down.
Watch how these receivers are getting down the field, too. They're going to stretch the field vertically, but you're doing that to dump the ball off to Michael Pittman. It forces your linebackers to retreat. They see a vertical route. You're trying to hit those seams. Everybody starts to turn and run. You slip your running back out, get him into that void, and let him run with the ball after the catch.
Bucs look to capitalize on a rare Peyton Manning pick. Garcia complete to Joey Galloway. Galloway takes it down to the 40, gain of 5. Dwight Freeney on the Indianapolis sidelines. Second down and 5. Galloway split to the left, Hilliard to the right. Hand off, Pittman, and he's hit for a loss. Wow, Hagler breaking through for a loss of 3.
What a great field to be able to get through all that stuff. I mean, it looks like it has to be a blitz coming right from the middle. He just times it up. He's not coming on the snap, just coming from depth, finds his way through there to make a tackle in the backfield. You force him into the third and long situation again. You think you're going to stay ahead of the chains with a run play called. Taiwan Hagler makes a play, and all of a sudden you're back into a third and long situation.
Third down and 8. Garcia to Galloway, first down, Buccaneers. Inside the Colts 30.
Nice throw by Jeff Garcia. I mean, he threaded that one right on the mark. And if you're going to play the horizontal stretch and you're going to be throwing the ball underneath, you've got to be able to put it in a place where the receiver doesn't have to break stride. He doesn't have to pull it off his shoestrings. He doesn't have to go back shoulder. You hit him in stride so he can continue to move at that pace with the ball.
Garcia looks really comfortable in that shotgun. You know, he's not a real giant guy, but he gets back there. You can see his receivers, and timing's impeccable.
Garcia scrambling. Now he finds Hilliard along the near sideline, and Ike Hilliard picks up a first down to the Colts 13-yard line, 17 yards from Garcia to Hilliard, and Jeff Garcia is now 8 for 8.
Nice vision by Jeff Garcia on that, because he's got Michael Pittman open right in front of him for 2 or 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Dump it off, let him run with it, but he pushes it a little bit more and then picks up Ike Hilliard down the field out on the sideline for a bigger gain.
Buccaneers send in 2 tight ends, Alex Smith and Anthony Becht. Pittman, the lone back from the Colts 13. This is Pittman. And Pittman takes it down to the 10. Hagler and Hayden in on the tackle.
This is a physical game right now. We saw the big hit on Dallas Clark by Tanard Jackson. Michael Pittman is a tough guy. And Antoine Bethea just came up and put one on him. He's down right now. It looks like he's holding his ankle. Got rolled up, but he took a big hit.
Buccaneers already without Cadillac Williams. And now the medical staff tending to Michael Pittman's ankle. As the Buccaneers did last week for Cadillac Williams, the entire team comes out onto the field to send their best to the injured running back Michael Pittman.
There has been a lot of change on this team coming into this season, but it's a very tight team, and you can see the disappointment in Michael Pittman's face, but his ankle's going to get rolled up on at the end of the run. But watch the hit. Now the hit comes in. There's the roll. Now the hit comes in, knocks him back, bends it real awkwardly. And, you know, it looked like he had a brace on that already. So one of the things, we had Tampa Bay late last year, and I remember talking to Joey Galloway, and in the midst of a very, very difficult season, at the end, just had to be extremely frustrating as a player, and yet Joey said if you walked into our locker room, you would never know this was a team that had the record that we have. We are tight, there's no finger pointing, it's one of the best locker rooms I've ever been in, and we saw it last week, as you pointed out, Kenny, when Cadillac Williams went down, we saw it there when Michael Pittman went down. These guys have a real bond, and I think that's one of the main reasons that they've gotten off to such a great start this year.
Pittman, the only Buck remaining on offense from their Super Bowl team. Ernest Graham replaces Pittman. Garcia out of the pocket inside the 10, the 5. He dives. He takes a heavy hit. And he looks to have the first down. Bethea came up and walloped Garcia after Jeff gained 8.
I tell you, the immeasurables on Jeff Garcia are off the charts. Not prototypical size. He's got some speed to him, a lot of moxie. Maybe not the strongest arm in the NFL, but his competitive spirit is completely off the charts. And as you pointed out, he's starting for his 5th team in 5 years. People continue to shop him around, and everywhere he goes, guys kind of line up behind him and will follow whatever he wants to do.
First and goal from the 3. Garcia looking end zone. He throws to the tight end, Smith, for the touchdown.
That's huge for Tampa to get them 7 points or 6 points right now. If they go and don't score on this drive, the Colts come out. Now all of a sudden it swings. It's 20-6. It's a whole different ball game. Now it's one-dimensional for Tampa Bay. Colts come at it with everything they got.
Great ball fake by Jeff Garcia. Gets it on the back hip. Really does a good job of hiding that. And you saw how open Alex Smith was. But Kenny pointed out on that interception return, they lost over 30 yards of field position. That could have been devastating to an offense that's really sputtered up until this point. They don't let it get to them, and they go down and score a touchdown.
Former Colt Pat Bryant adds the extra point. Tannar Jackson with a big hit on Dallas Clark. Next play, the interception. And then Garcia to Alex Smith, who reaches the end zone for the first time this season. Jeff Garcia 5 for 5 during the Buccaneers scoring drive. He is 9 for 9 overall as the Bucs capitalize on a rare Colts turnover.
Peyton Manning just lost his patience on that play, and he threw a deep ball into coverage. Tannar Jackson intercepts it and gets this Tampa Bay offense a little bit of life. Boy, they were really lethargic their first 3 possessions.
Ryan's kickoff taken on the run by Thorpe. And another big return for Alfonso Thorpe. There is a flag as Thorpe brings it all the way out to the 44, a 35-yard return.
You give some kudos to the Indianapolis Colts scouting department finding this guy.
There's no penalty for illegal block in the back. The block was on the side. First down.
I'll have my block on the side. That was all Profonso on that one. I mean, it's a middle return. He's coming up to go to the middle and breaks it out to the right side. And really, he's got one guy to beat. He makes an athletic move to get around him. And
so because the block was on the side and not in the back, the return stands. 35-yard return by Thorpe.
2 clean blocks right there.
What an NFL debut, Darryl, for Alfonso Thorpe. He had a 29-yard punt return earlier, and now a 35-yard kickoff return. The Colts' regular return man, TJ Rushing, is out today with a hamstring injury.
Just keep rolling them in.
Dallas Clark back on the field. Colts start from their own 44. Some trickery. The end around to Reggie Wayne. And Wayne takes a hard hit. Guess who? Tenard Jackson. After a gain of 4. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies. Here's Kenton Keith. Gain of 3 into Bucs territory. We mentioned Dallas Clark has returned after taking that hard hit on the Colts' last possession. Let's listen.
That's for everybody that thinks football is a contact sport. Like a college coach used to tell them, if you want to participate in a contact sport, take up ballroom dancing. Football is a game of collisions, and Dallas Clark was exposed, and Tenard Jackson just put a big hit on him.
Like a car wreck.
Indianapolis Colts took a 13-0 lead. Buccaneers capitalized on a Colts turnover. Look at Monty Kiffin, who was Tony Dungy's defensive coordinator in Tampa. They also worked together in Minnesota. Monty called Tony on Friday night, and he said, "Why did they schedule you guys?"
And Tony called about, just getting out of the office. It's 8 o'clock at night. Tony, what are you staying there so late for? We only run a couple formations. You don't need to be burning the midnight oil that long.
Longtime colleagues, good friends. 3rd down and 4. Slant to Reggie Wayne. 1st down, Colts.
That was a big conversion right there for this Indianapolis offense, because the Bucs got new life, and if they can put together another drive here like they did on those first 2 drives, where they can control the clock and reestablish their momentum, and it's just hard to defend this. I mean, the ball's out before Reggie's really making his break to the inside, and that continuity, that chemistry that's developed between the people involved in this offense, sometimes it's just hard to defend.
From the 45, play action on 1st down. Manning could not find it at 1 downfield. Dumps it off to Clark. He's tackled by Derek Brooks after a gain of 2.
You can see Peyton talking to him right now. They do a little drill. We saw it on Friday practice, where it's Peyton and the skill guys, and it's kind of like a 7-on-7 on air, and they're running their play. But Peyton wants them to see what he's seeing as a quarterback. It's all about angles and landmarks and where I expect you to be by what the defense is doing. It's just taking this preparation to the next level with this skill group, and it was very impressive to watch on Friday afternoon.
And then Peyton referred to it when we talked to him as the dog and pony part of practice. Here's Keith. Penalty marker as Keith took it down to the 37-yard line.
Just watching down here, Dow, watching Rondé Barber and Phil Buchanan. These guys are not pressing these receivers at all. Now, I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. But I would.
Offense, left guard, 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I would think that these guys would have to go get up on those receivers and try to throw their timing off early. It seems like they're giving them such a big cushion that the receivers can just run around the field and make catches.
Tony, how do you think it affected the Bucs defenders mentally when they found out today that Marvin Harrison was not playing? You prepare all week, you know he's injured, but still a possibility, and then all of a sudden you show up today and Harrison's a scratch.
Yeah, but then you got Anthony Gonzalez right behind him. I mean, this guy's filling in Marvin's shoes really quick. You got to be a little happy because Marvin and Peyton have something special. Not a lot of receiver quarterback combos have what they have. They pretty much know where each other's going to be. They can put their eyes, don't even have to look at each other and know what's going to go on. So they had to be a little happy, but you got to keep that pressure going right now. They can't go and let them Colts get the momentum again, or they're going to be in trouble.
Let's listen to Peyton Manning here. 2nd down and 18. Out of the backfield, Keith. Kenton Keith. Brought down by Patrick Chikora. So the Colts now in a 3rd and very long.
Well, again, you can see a little bit of frustration on Peyton Manning's part. You heard him talk about the cross. Now, the cross is going to come from the receivers there, and then they're going to try and slip the back out. So watch the cross right there. Oh, you know, we haven't done this a lot. It's Brian Fletcher and Dallas Clark, and we don't get a lot of reps, and they're coming who's high, who's low, who goes underneath, who goes over top. All of a sudden, all that stuff gets bottled up, and Peyton wants to dump it to Kenton Keith, but it just didn't come out clean.
4th down and 17. Keith unable to hang on. Colts Chargers have already lost more games than they did all of last season. Smith's first punt, fair catch called for at the 20-yard line by Mark Jones. 33-yard punt. Second quarter, all Colts early. Indianapolis took a 13-0 lead, but Buccaneers put together a nice scoring drive on their last possession. Garcia, perfect 9 for 9. Bucs lost Michael Pittman to an injury on that last drive, so Ernest Graham is in the backfield, takes the inside handoff from Garcia, and Graham gaining 4 out to the 24-yard line. So the Bucs now down to their 3rd string running back, Darrell, without Cadillac Williams and Michael Pittman.
Hey, well, you saw that total, five carries for -1 yards for Michael Pittman. You've got to stay committed to the run. This group ran the ball very effectively last week against Carolina, who's got a very, very good front 7. This is a good offensive line. They're starting to come together. Don't give up on them. You don't want to be dropping back against this defensive front.
Garcia on 2nd and 7, in and out of the hands of the tight end, Alex Smith, who has the Bucs touchdown.
Well, one of the things you're going to do to help out Donald Penn is just get other people around him. And Dwight Freeney will see so many different kind of blocking schemes. You got your tight end over there. He chips him on the release. There's Ernest Graham, the running back, right behind Donald Penn. You've got 3 people that are involved with trying to slow down Dwight Freeney. Now, what does that do? That keeps guys in from going out to the routes. It affects the timing of what you can do in the passing game, and it frees up some of the guys inside. We've seen Raheem Brock come free a couple of times. So even though Dwight Freeney is not getting there, he's affecting the game.
4th down and 7. Bucs have to get to the 30 for a first down, and they cannot. Galloway, the intended receiver.
And Joey knows he missed one there. He's got to make that catch. Antoine Bethea is coming in to put a big hit on him. You got to keep the momentum. They did such a good job on their last drive of getting the momentum back. Got to make that catch.
So the Bucs go 3 and out for the 4th time today. Bidwell back at his own 10. Thorpe already with a couple of big returns today for the Colts on special teams. Good kick taken out the 22 by Thorpe. Looks to cut back the other way, but Calvin Pearson had other ideas. 53-yard punt, only 1 yard on the return.
Well, the way that these defenses are built, that's going to also translate into your cover units. You're going to have guys who are extremely fast getting down the field covering these kicks. So the style that Tampa Bay and Indianapolis employ with what they're looking for in a defensive player is also going to help them to have some pretty good coverage units on their special teams.
Colts start from their own 24-yard line. Last play prior to the 2-minute warning. Pass is caught by Gonzalez. Anthony Gonzalez with his 3rd reception, a gain of 9 as we hit the 2-minute warning in Indy. Back in Indianapolis, 13-7 lead for the Colts under 2 minutes remaining, first half. 2nd down and 1. Colts from their own 33-yard line. Kenton Keith picks up the first, gain of 6, out to the 39. Well, Darryl, big start for the Colts. They scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, but the interception turned the tide.
Absolutely. It's all about momentum in a football game, and Indianapolis came out and had it those first 2 possessions, but Peyton Manning got a little bit impatient, got down the field with coverage there, and Tenard Jackson gets the interception. Tampa Bay comes down the field. Now it's kind of hanging there in the balance. Joey Galloway had an opportunity on that last drive where maybe you prolong that drive, you get Indianapolis back out on the field. They've got a chance to get some points going in at halftime and really kind of grab that momentum back for the start of the second half.
That last play, 6th reception of the first half for Dallas Clark. This is Keith, and he's wrapped up by Barrett Ruud, named the NFC's Defensive Player of the Month for September. Off to a great start. And another Buck is shaken up. It's Gaines Adams, the rookie out of Clemson. Tampa Bay already lost the defensive lineman Greg White earlier to a left shoulder injury. His return is questionable. And now Gaines Adams is down with 1:18 to go. First half coming up, the Visa Halftime Report with Kurt Menefee, Terry Howie, and Jimmy. They'll have all the scores and highlights, and the Fox Sports ticker will bring you the up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
This has been an unusual season. The amount of guys who are out for the year already at this stage of the season. I mean, the Buffalo Bills, I mean, what do they have, 9 guys on IR for the year? But, I mean, we've seen more injuries this season than in any season I can remember in quite some time. And to see this Indianapolis team, and maybe, you know, kind of a thought-out plan of, hey, you know, there's Mike Allstott. He's on IR for the year. But Indianapolis, with all their big guys, Marvin Harrison, Joseph Adai, you know, Bob Sanders, are we really, you know, we're getting them through that bye week. We got to have them for a big push. So let's see if we can get, you know, 3 times the amount of recovery we could by forcing them to go out and play today, maybe on a limited basis. But again, now this game starts, and we're just seeing guys go down.
You know what, Musto? Sometimes it makes your team even better because those backup guys, now they have to go and pick up the slack. They get in, they get some team experience, you know, have to pick up a bigger role. You see what you got there. And when those guys do come back off injuries, now you got a lot of depth there and backups that know what's going on.
The Colts have a phrase in their locker room, next man up. Somebody gets injured, who's the next guy to step up?
Well, you can see that works. It's working to perfection this afternoon.
Third down and 1. Keith turns the corner, picks up a first down. Kenton Keith into Buccaneers territory. 4 years in the Canadian Football League, so Jeff Garcia not the only former CFL star in this game. Kenton Keith, a member of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Jeff Garcia played in Calgary for the Stampeders. Backed up Doug Flutie initially, north of the border. Manning with time, he fires to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez brought down by Jermaine Phillips inside the 30, a 21-yard pass play.
Anthony Gonzalez, probably one of those guys that Tony's talking about. He gets a more featured role this afternoon. He's kind of been rolled in there as the third receiver already. Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, and Anthony Gonzalez is out there. But he's going to have a bigger role this afternoon, and maybe you see some things from him, and that chemistry starts to develop between he and Peyton Manning. But I think he has a potential to be a perfect fit in this offense that Indianapolis runs.
Last pick of the first round by the Colts. He had 6 receptions coming into the game today, 4 in the first half. Again, the Colts are without Marvin Harrison today. Out with a knee injury. Aaron Moorhead, one of their backup wide receivers, is out with a bad back. Roy Hall, rookie out of Ohio State, like Gonzalez, placed on IR today. And only 3 active wide receivers. Dallas Clark in the slot. He's leading the Colts today with 6 receptions. From the Bucs 29. Manning steps up, now throws to the end zone for Gonzalez. Just out of his reach. Brian Kelly on the coverage.
You don't see that very often. When you give Peyton Manning an opportunity to get a play down the field, he is very, very good at making you pay. He very rarely overthrows somebody, and the receivers very rarely drop a ball.
You know, they're still, you know, Tampa's still giving Dallas Clark. Look at the cushion he has. He's running wide open. I mean, he could do anything right there. He's sitting there just waiting for Peyton Manning. Peyton decides to go long, but Tampa needs to go and take this little area right here and take it away.
2nd and 10. Manning over the top. This is the tight end, Brian Fletcher. Fletcher is close to a first down. Tony, how can they take that area away?
Well, if they just go up and press him a little bit, get up in his face, bump him off the line of scrimmage, get a little physical with these guys. Right now, it's just like a throw and catch up period.
3rd and short, Keith. First down. Kenton Keith up the middle. So the Colts get a new set of downs with a half-minute remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Great time to get some fluids in you, take a little rest.
Check out the quarterbacks, guys, with back-to-back Super Bowl titles, including our Terry Bradshaw.
Back-to-back twice.
Yeah, Peyton Manning hopes his name is added to this list. There's your former teammate, Troy Aikman. Of course, John Elway, Tom Brady.
It's tough. It's tough getting back there the 2nd time. Everybody wants to knock you off that pedestal that next season.
Another huge cushion for Dallas Clark.
Keith out of the backfield. And Keith is upended by the former Raider Philip Buchanan. Gains 3.
What a good addition Philip Buchanan has been, because in the past, when Brian Kelly has gone out of the lineup, they didn't really have anybody there. Now with Philip Buchanan, it's not as big a drop-off.
Manning to Gonzalez. Buchanan knocks him out of bounds inside the 10 with 5 seconds remaining in the half. And the Colts do, in fact, send out the field goal unit. Manning was looking over at head coach Tony Dungy. Dungy sends out Adam Vinatieri, who had an extra point blocked earlier, but he has never missed a field goal attempt in this dome.
He's going to probably have a very similar pressure. They're on the left hash, so that's going to come over the right guard this time. So Jake Scott's got to be ready. You see everybody stacked up behind him right there.
27-yard attempt by Vinatieri. It is good. So the 4-time Super Bowl champion adds to the Colts lead over the Bucs at the half. Indianapolis 16, Tampa Bay 7. The Visa halftime report is coming up next.
Hello, operator. Can you give me number 9? Can I see you later? Will you give me back my dime? Tell me oscillator. Twisted with the dollar bill. Mailman, bring the paper.
The Indianapolis Colts hoping to remain unbeaten. The Bucs with a win today would match their victory total from all of last season. We get set for the 2nd half. Colts leading by 9. Matt Bryant to kick off for the Bucs. Alfonso Thorpe with a couple of big returns, takes it on the run at the 6. Thorpe down at the 23, 17-yard return. Well, Darryl, what do the Buccaneers need to do in the 2nd half to stay close?
Well, you heard Jimmy Johnson at the halftime show say that the defense is going to try and keep them in this game. Well, they've got an opportunity right now. Go out and get a stop. Indianapolis took that momentum back going in at halftime, got a field goal. The Bucs, can you come out and stop them on defense? And then offensively, let's get back to what we were doing before. Don't give up on the run. It's an area that you were very good at last week with Carolina. And Jeff Garcia, can you continue to make good decisions in the passing game?
Bucs defense on the field against Peyton Manning's offensive unit. Colts starting from their own 23. Manning 19 of 25 in the first half. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Hands it off to Kenton Keith. Made the start today for the injured Joseph Adai. As we take a look at the fantasy numbers from the first half, 145 yards in the air for Manning. Keith, 37 yards on 14 carries, his first NFL touchdown. Dallas Clark with 6 catches in the first half, 1 shy of his career high. He has the other Indianapolis score. For the latest in fantasy stats, log on to foxsports.com. Off the play fake on second down. Manning hits Keith out of the backfield, and Keith takes it out to the 37-yard line for a first down, a gain of 14 yards.
If you're going to force a team to dump everything off underneath and then rally up, tackling becomes paramount in those situations. And Tampa Bay is usually a very good tackling team, but right here you just get the ball underneath, under pressure, with the pressure coming in from your right, and you allow your running back to make a play. Everybody's dropping back, get it underneath. You make one guy miss, you get enough yards for the first down.
Manning knocked out at the end of the play by Joe Von Hay. Peyton making his 162nd consecutive start, including postseason. He has never missed a game. Here's Keith. He's tackled back at the 38-yard line by Barrett Ruud. Gain of 1 on the play.
It was funny talking about Eli. Him telling him, hey, listen, you know, he got hurt his shoulder a couple weeks ago. You got to go. I mean, you know, this might have been dislocated or however you heard it, but we got it on the phone with his brother, and just there was no question. If you can go, you got to go. There's football in these guys' blood.
And Peyton told us Tony was very proud of his brother for not missing a game after injuring his shoulder week 1. Came back, played against the Packers the next week. On the 38 on 2nd and 9. Manning to the outside, and the catch is made by Brian Fletcher. The 4th-year tight end out of UCLA, seeing more playing time today in the absence of Ben Utech, and Fletcher gained 16 yards. Again,
The simplicity of this offense. It's a route combination on the top. Watch, you're going to have the in route. It's on the top of the screen. It was an in route coming in with the corner behind it. And what we saw in the first half was the in route was the featured route. That time they get Brian Fletcher on the corner route over the top of it. So very simple. If you're going to take one thing away, we'll go here. If you're going to make your adjustment and try and take that away, we'll come back to that part of the route.
Keith looks to turn the corner. And among the many Bucs there to meet Kenton Keith, the former Colt, Cato June, who led Tampa Bay in the first half with 8 tackles, coming back to play against his former club for the first time.
Kevin Carter did a nice job of just driving his guy straight back. I mean, if you're not going to make the tackle, at least drive him all the way back into your rusher and wait for your guys to come. Nice job by him.
Carter, the 13-year vet, won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Dawson in the backfield. Clark in the slot. 2nd down and 11. Off the fake to Dawson, Manning in trouble. Able to make something out of not much as Reggie Wayne gathers it in at the 39.
Well, it's not, when you talk about a quarterback who has a pocket presence, it's not always what Jeff Garcia can do or what Donovan McNabb can do. Sometimes it's just being able to sense that pressure and not do a whole lot. I mean, Peyton's not a real mobile guy, but he's got a great feel. He gets out. Now, when he gets out to that side of the field, he knows exactly what he's going to have working on that half of the field.
He was able to get away from Patrick Chikora. Third down and 3. Gonzalez, first down. Gain of 14 to the Bucs. 26.
Not having spent a lot of time together yet in this offense, Peyton Manning and Anthony Gonzalez have a very good feel for each other at this early stage.
They spent a lot of time together during the offseason. Peyton Manning basically went through every play from last season with Anthony Gonzalez after he was drafted.
Welcome to my work ethic.
From the 26 on first down, this is Dawson. And Tony asked Peyton on Friday, what's your typical week like? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, what do you do after practice? He said, I go home and I study. He takes the film home from practice. He watches the film of practice during the week when he goes home.
Yeah, but his reasoning was great. So the next day when they cook, Peyton, what were you thinking on that one? He's got his excuse built in because he saw it the night before.
Sneaks all the coaches. I'll tell you what, one thing watching him down here, watch his eyes. His eyes are always looking at the play clock. He wants to know how much time he has left. I mean, I caught him 50 times. There he goes, see him? His eyes are always looking at the play clock. He always has that play clock going down to 1, 2, 3 seconds. I mean, he uses all the time up he possibly can on every play.
Dallas Clark picks up a first. And Tony, you played against Peyton Manning. It was early in his career, but how frustrating was it?
I'll tell you what, you just knew he was going to be good. The guy just came out, confidence. I mean, they just, offensively, you don't get a lot of offenses like that. At quarterback, you wait for a guy to be in the league 10, 11 years, have been in the playoffs, maybe won a Super Bowl. You get the cockiness, you get the Elways and the Marinos. But when this guy was young, when I played against him, I mean, he just came there. You knew this guy was going to be great. He's gotten a lot better than I thought he could get.
I'm sure you wished he was here when you played for the Colts.
That would have been nice.
Dawson inside the 13. Clifton Dawson, the rookie out of Harvard, who will celebrate his 24th birthday tomorrow. Seeing playing time here this afternoon in the absence of Joseph Adai, giving Kent and Keith a rest.
Just methodical with what they do offensively. And, as Tony said, they're taking the time off the clock. And, it's not a traditional huddle. They kind of hang around, but, he does take that clock down. They make this belief that it's going to be a fast-paced game, but he really does control the flow of the game on his own.
There's Dawson down to the 11. Tony, you left Indy 2 years too early. Your last year as a Colt, 1996. Peyton drafted first overall in 98.
Yeah, we had a good defense. I mean, we went to the AFC Championship game and lost against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh went and saw Moose in the Super Bowl. You could rub it in, Moose, a little bit, but we lost the following year against the Steelers again, and then I went on to go to the Baltimore Ravens, but it would have been nice. I think Peyton scored in his first year here at the Colts more than I scored in my whole career here at the Colts, or any offense we ever had.
Barrett Ruth thinks he knows what's coming.
Keith on 2nd and 7. Gaines Adams in on the tackle, gain of 4. Midway through this third quarter in Indianapolis.
He's coming over here. He's coming over here. I mean, he's got to be smiling. Peyton's got to be smiling right now because the run is actually going over there.
Keith, end zone, touchdown. There is a flag. Penalty marker down. As Kent Keith takes it to the end zone for the second time today.
And offside, number 95. Both fouls are declined. Score is good.
Well, some audio problems at the beginning of Mike Carey's announcement. Second touchdown of the game for Kent Keith.
See Ronnie Barber right there. He's trying to get it called. He knows they're in trouble.
Barber tried to call timeout. To no avail. Terry had his last PAT attempt blocked. Hunter Smith is the holder, and this time straight through. So the Indianapolis Colts extend their lead, a 13-play drive. They eat up 7.5 minutes on the clock. Some frustration on the Tampa Bay sidelines. Buccaneers have fallen behind 23-7.
Well, a big opportunity right there for that Tampa Bay defense. Come out and make a stand and try and get that momentum back, and they let that Colts offense just methodically walk down the field and get 7 more points.
And Terry's kickoff. Jones takes a knee. So the Bucs will start from their own 20, trailing by 16. Coming up next week, week 6 in the NFL. Early games, Eagles and the Jets, Vikings and the Bears, Redskins and the Packers, and the late game, Panthers and the Cardinals. The Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, 1 week from today on Fox. Buccaneers trailing by 16, start from their own 20. This is Ernest Graham. Short game. Tampa Bay lost Michael Pittman to a sprained left ankle earlier. His return is questionable. Josh Thomas on the tackle for the Colts. Buccaneers, big days on the ground each of the last 2 weeks. Over 150 yards rushing, but struggling today.
Yeah, and that has been a key. You see there the totals the last couple of weeks at St. Louis and at Carolina, especially the Carolina Panthers. A very, very good defensive front seven. This offensive line really controlled that line of scrimmage all game.
Garcia rolling to his right, hits the fullback, Darrell. B.J. Askew. And Askew is upended at the 24. After a gain of 3, you've rubbed off of me. I get excited whenever the fullback makes a play.
They're always open. It's just a question of whether you can find him, but the guy is always open. Does a good job making sure his protection is sound, then just slips out for a couple of yards in the flat.
Remember what John Gruden told us, Askew does not expect to get the football.
In the running game. He expects it to get in the pass.
It is his 3rd reception of the season.
There you go. He's almost up to 1 a game.
Third down and 5. Garcia, Galloway, and he's unable to hang on. Incomplete. Looked initially like Galloway would hang on, make a spectacular catch, but he came down and the ball popped out.
You got to maintain possession all the way through the catch. Joey Galloway on the outside to the right. Nice release at the line of scrimmage to get back inside. Goes up, gets a high ball, but just coming down flat on his back on the turf. He dropped one earlier that he should have caught. Almost made up for it there with a really, really nice catch.
5th time the Bucs have gone 3 and out. All of their first downs came on the touchdown drive. So Bidwell punting from his own 15. Taken at the 30 by Kerfonso Thorpe. Good coverage downfield by Maurice Stovall. Young wide receiver out of Notre Dame. 45-yard punt, only 2 on the return. What a day for Peyton Manning.
You know, Jeff Garcia not too bad either, but you can see how Indianapolis forces you to check everything down. He's averaging just a little bit more than 5 yards per attempt.
From the 32 on first down, this is Dawson. Dawson able to gain a yard. Another tackle made by Barrett Ruud.
Critical right here for this Bucs defense to make a stop. I mean, it's starting to slide away from them. They've been on the field an awful long time this afternoon. 5 3-and-outs by their offense, not being able to sustain anything and give them some time to recover on the sideline.
That's what the Colts do. Put together long drives. Manning on second down, complete. Dawson. Ruud makes the tackle, but Dawson picks up first. Just look at the last 2 touchdown drives, Darrell, by the Colts. 15-play drive and a 13-play drive.
Very methodical, and you know, except for that one play that Peyton Manning had when he got a little bit impatient, threw a ball into coverage, gave Tampa Bay some life. Good play by Tenard Jackson. And then at 13-7, we thought we were going to get back into a good game, and the Colts just came right back out and took control of that momentum again before halftime and really established with that opening drive of the second half.
From the 42, Dawson. Out across the 45, a gain of 4. Mentioned earlier, Clifton Dawson, the all-time Ivy League record holder for career rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. Dawson exits. Kent Keith checks back in. Keith played in Canada for 4 years. Dawson is from Canada, grew up in Ontario. Just over the border from your hometown of Buffalo.
Yeah, we had a couple A couple of players at Syracuse that came from Canada. Get that 13th grade up there. A bit more mature than us guys down in the States.
Good exchange rate as well.
Not anymore.
Back then there was. 2nd and 7, Manning to Keith.
Oh, good vision.
Keith for the Buccaneers, 42, 13 yards from Manning to Keith.
You get that ball checked down to you, you want to get north and south, but watch the vision by Kenton Keith here. He feels Derek Brooks coming in from the left side, gets across that way, gets back up the field north and south. He's been very, very good with the checkdowns underneath today.
There's such a calm on that offensive line. The whole offense, they just come to the line of scrimmage, they know what they got to do, they expect the first down, and they just get it.
Here's Keith. Another Colts first down.
Okay.
Inside the Bucs 30, gain of 12. And a couple of sweeps in the National League, Kurt. Peyton Manning reminding us, guys, on Friday that he started his first game at the University of Tennessee when Todd Helton, who had been the quarterback there, suffered an injury. Helton, of course, the star first baseman for the Colorado Rockies, who will start the NLCS on Thursday against Arizona. No gain, Luke Lawton. You're out in the backfield for the Colts.
Kenny, you're unbelievable, man. I don't know where you find this stuff, or I got to get the same computer or whatever kind of gadget you have, because you come up with this stuff that's
all you got to do is get a computer. If you were to check your email every once in a while, you get this information from Kenny. I mean, I had all the new rosters this morning on my email. Just you don't need the program, Tony. Just get the computer. Check it once in a while.
Spreadsheet for all the nuggets he comes up with.
Tony has spent many hours in a dark room.
I don't believe that a bit.
That's where it all sinks in. From the 30, high snap, 2nd and 10, Manning complete, Gonzalez again. Philip Buchanan made the tackle. Anthony Gonzalez now with 7 receptions today.
He's very impressive. You watched him on film during the course of the beginning of the season. Now, Philip Buchanan had a great afternoon against Steve Smith last week. And Anthony Gonzalez, I mean, he's so quick, it changes direction. He gets Philip Buchanan to open his hips to the sideline, breaks back to the middle of the field underneath him. He's going to be a handful when he really understands his system.
Down at 4. Kenton Keith. Keith all the way down to the Buccaneers 9-yard line, 15-yard pickup.
Monty Kiffin feels that this offense is better this year than they were last season when they made their Super Bowl run. And the reason is their running game. And we have seen it here in the second half. They get everybody moving. A good seal by Ryan Deem on the backside. If you overplay this, if you get out of your gap in this style of defense, the ball will wind its way back and find the player who loses gap control. Kenton Keith, very patient, is able to pop through that line of scrimmage right into the secondary.
9th play of the drive for the Colts. 1st and goal from the 9. Manning pump fakes and then throws it away. I think he was looking for Tony on that pass.
Come on, Goose.
I tried. I couldn't get to it. He threw that one way out.
You know, I like those monitors. Are you in your living room or in the dome with us?
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to get a little bit of what you guys have up there. This is nice. This one keeps not working too well, but it's fun. High def, everything. Fox. They went all out this year for me. I appreciate it.
Tony, you can turn around now. Final play of the 3rd quarter. The handoff to Keith. And Keith is tackled by Buchanan as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. The Colts have added to their lead. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Third quarter numbers, total domination, Indianapolis.
Well, I mean, the second half starts and it's 16-7. Indianapolis is going to get the ball, but you know, the defense hasn't been able to slow the offense down. When the offense comes out, they're not doing a whole lot of anything right now. So Indianapolis just whooped the Bucs in that third quarter.
Third and goal for the Colts from the 9. First play of the fourth quarter. Dallas Clark in the slot. Gonzalez split to the left. Wayne split to the right. Manning to the end zone. Touchdown, Reggie Wayne.
Here's where patience pays off for you, because when you're an offense like Indianapolis, you wait for the blitz. That's where you have your opportunity for the big plays. You know, when you're playing that soft coverage and you're forced to dump the ball down and let your guys run, you're waiting for an opportunity like this. Look at all the guys down in here. You finally get your blitz. Now you can work the outside. You've got the whole middle of the field open. You've got your one-on-one coverage for the first time. And when you're an efficient offense and you've got guys that have played together for years and years, you wait for that opportunity for one-on-one and pressure.
Fourth touchdown reception of the season for Wayne. The Colts now lead the Buccaneers 30-7. Play 68-yard drive as the Colts extend their lead.
No, if you bring pressure on this play, you got to take away that inside right there. You have to go and press. Phillip Buchanan needs to go and get a little bit aggressive, go after the guy. You got 7 guys rushing the quarterback. You got to give them time to go and get to the quarterback. You can't give them that cushion and let them play pass and catch all day long. Unbelievable.
Many teams have tried to stop the Colts. Not many have been successful. Ramon Guzman with the tackle on special teams of Mark Jones. Three teams in league history have started 5-0 3 consecutive seasons. The Packers, 1929 through 31, the 73 through 75 Vikings, and the St. Louis Rams, 99 through 01, as Garcia connects with Ike Hilliard. And now the Indianapolis Colts looking to become only the 4th team in league history to start 5-0 3 straight years.
That's amazing. And you don't win a championship in the month of September, but when you get off the starts like Indianapolis has done the last 3 seasons, it makes it a lot easier down the stretch. And we've seen teams from last year's playoff picture play themselves into some pretty deep holes this September. Chicago, San Diego. You know, these teams have really put themselves behind the 8 ball for the next 12 weeks. And Indianapolis just comes out and keeps rolling year after year.
Garcia looking for Hilliard once again. You talk about the Colts' strong starts, Darryl. 2 years ago, 13-0. Last year, 9-0. On their way to 5-0 here today. They have a bye next week. Then they go on the road for 2 in Jacksonville, in Carolina. Colts next home game, November 4th, against New England.
Well, we had the guys on the pregame show talk about who had the potential to go undefeated and run the table. Jimmy Johnson was the only guy to go with Indianapolis. A lot of guys on that Patriot bandwagon. They look awful good today without a Dye, without Harrison, without Sanders, without Utek. A lot of key guys to this team aren't in the lineup today, and yet they don't miss a beat.
Hilliard picked up the first. There's Joseph Adai.
He is a good player. I mean, he is a perfect fit. And that's the strange thing. It seems like Indianapolis gets the perfect fit for the position that they're looking to upgrade.
Marcus Graham up the middle. Nice run. Well, you talk about the Colts losing Edgerrin James after the 2005 season. He signs a big deal in Arizona. Joseph Adai steps in. Dominique Rhodes was still in Indy. What do the Colts do without Edgerrin James? They win a Super Bowl. What do they do today without Joseph Adai? They plug in Kenton Keith. They plug in Clifton Dawson, Luke Lawton, Keith scores 2 touchdowns. They lead the Bucs 30-7.
What was the saying in the locker room? Who's
Next man up.
Next man up.
2nd and 1 for the Bucs. From their own 38. Complete to Ike Hilliard. Now the Colts lost a number of key players during the offseason following the Super Bowl. First day of training camp, Tony Dungy put 10 names up on the board, including Edgerrin James, including David Thornton. His message to the team: we lost key players the last couple of seasons. Without them, we won a Super Bowl. So don't let the amount of guys and big names, key players that we lost, deter us this year. And so far, it hasn't. 1st and 10 from the 44. Garcia firing downfield, looking for Galloway. And Galloway unable to make the catch.
You losing the lights, Tony?
I don't know. The lights aren't that bright up there, but I don't think he knew when that ball was coming out. And he just didn't have time to get back, get his body around. He had him beat there, though, Moose.
Well, you get Joey Galloway matched up against the Mike linebacker. That's what you've been waiting for all afternoon. And we talked about it. You're not going to get a lot of shots against this defense to get somebody vertically down the field. And when you do, you've got to take advantage of that. And Jeff Garcia, Joey Galloway, unable to do that. And it was probably the matchup they've been waiting all game to get.
Galloway out, Michael Clayton in. 2nd down and 10. Near side to the tight end, Jeremy Stevens, the former Seahawk, his first catch in a Tampa Bay Buck uniform. Gain of 5. So 3rd and 5 coming up. Colts lost both starting quarterbacks, Nick Harper, Jason David. Cato June, of course, went to the Bucs. And these are the players they lost completely, let alone guys who are missing today's game. 3rd down and 5. Garcia to the outside. Galloway, 1st down and more. Nice move by Galloway, and he's finally run out of bounds at the Colts 24-yard line by Matt Giordano. 27-yard pass play.
Joey Galloway, it's amazing to watch him. You know, at his age, not the personal Joey, but to be playing a position based on speed and to watch how productive he still is at this stage of his career. It is a horizontal passing game. There is a lot of underneath routes, but Joey Galloway is your deep ball threat. Not just throwing it deep to him like we saw in that one pass, but getting it to him underneath. You get it to Joey in stride. He can go the distance from anywhere, still at this stage of his career.
Over 630 career receptions for Galloway. This is Ernest Graham on the screen. And Graham picks up a Buccaneers 1st down. Gain of 13. Graham all the way to the Colts 11.
Donald Penslow getting up on that one. The guy filling in for Luke Pettigrew, and you know, Donald Penn, John Gruden, everybody involved with that offense has done a good job of finding ways to minimize the impact of Dwight Freeney going up against a guy making his first NFL start. He had a big play early in the game, but he came on a stunt all the way to the inside, but he's been rather quiet. He's been on the sideline quite a bit in this game.
This is the Buccaneers' longest drive of the game. 10th play as Graham is cut down by Taiwan Hagler. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up.
It looked like he had room out there. Taiwan Hagler comes in, just takes his legs out. And there's another guy. I mean, he's filling in for Freddie Keaho, who had a really nice game last week, but is out today. Next man up.
Rob Morris out for the season. 2 starting linebackers out. No problem. Hagler steps up. Rocky Boyman steps up. Garcia to Hilliard. And Hilliard is tackled at the 3-yard line by Antoine Bethea after a gain of 9. Jeremy Stevens back in. Buccaneers shuffling personnel.
Tampa needs a bunch of scores here. They're taking their time getting in and out of this huddle. I mean, that's precious time. You see the top of your screen coming off the clock.
And you know the Colts will run the clock down when they get the ball back, Tony. Third down and 1. Garcia to the end zone. Touchdown. Second of the game for Alex Smith.
Alex Smith kind of getting lost in the shuffle right there. Don't know how he popped that wide open. You've got Ed Johnson, number 99, coming from the tackle position. Must have had some kind of fire zone where you're bringing a linebacker and dropping a defensive lineman into coverage, but he was outflanked in a hurry.
Bryant adds the extra point. It's now a 2-possession game. 9.5 remaining in the fourth.
Nice Indianapolis welcome. It's been a fun city. This is my first time here as a broadcaster. Played here one time, but this is the first time I've got a chance to work the booth here.
I was here when you played here, too. We'll leave it at that.
Onside kick, guys. Penalty marker. As the Buccaneers look to surprise the Colts. There is a flag, and the Colts have recovered.
Here's the first thing you say when you're going to do an onside kick. Stay on sides.
That would help. Flag was thrown immediately as the ball was kicked.
I don't really know if you can call that a surprise onside. I mean, you're 2 possessions.
Offside, the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick from the 25-yard line.
Well, you went ahead and called it, but I mean, it's the first thing that everybody says. Stay on side, especially when it's surprise. I mean, he is so far ahead. I'm going to go get this one. I'm going to turn this game around. Oh, timing is all off.
Now getting back to the nice welcome that we just had. Tony's arrival here on Friday certainly helped add to the economy. Tony spent 7 years here in Indianapolis, visited many restaurants during his 3 days in this city.
There's a lot more restaurants now than when I was here. A lot.
It's like the Tony Siragusa reunion circuit we've been on the first 5 weeks of the season. Miami, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. You know we got to be going to Baltimore at some point.
Now we're going to New York for 2 weeks and then London.
Well, you got no ties to London.
You guys gonna let me have tea with the Queen over there? Can we get that done?
Tony, have you ever been to London?
Yeah, when I was like 16 or 17. Piccadilly Circus. The punk rockers were all over the place.
Get ready, London. Syracuse is coming. Here's Thorpe. Thorpe out of bounds at the 17. Peyton Manning of the Colts back at offense. Back in Indianapolis, Colts over the Bucs 30-14.
What is this?
Can we help you, Tony? Colts start from their own 16-yard line. Dallas Clark in the slot. And the handoff to Kenton Keith. Big hole. Keith finally tackled from behind by Derek Brooks after a 22-yard scamper.
And this is something you usually don't see from a Tampa Bay defense. They've got people in position to make the tackle. I mean, Kenton Keith is he's in trouble right here, but Barrett Rood completely overruns it and actually picks Cato June. And then Kenton Keith gets back to the inside, but they had it defended well. Barrett Rood coming from the inside out, just over-pursued.
I don't think it's any secret that they're going to be running the ball to try and take time off the clock, guys.
Here's Keith. Gains 3 out to the 41 as the clock continues to run. We've been talking all day long about the fact that Tony spent 7 seasons here in Indianapolis. Came in as an undrafted free agent back when the draft was 12 rounds prior to the 1990 season.
A long time ago.
Came in, Darryl, as a long snapper.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's the surprising part. I didn't know about that, but you know, just fortunate that Tony actually found Indianapolis.
That's for sure.
Yeah, there were some worries there for a while.
Yeah, everybody's a comedian in this show here. All right, I thought it was Annapolis. I didn't know it was Indianapolis. All right, guys, let's get it out.
Here's Dawson. Tony grew up in the Northeast in New Jersey and thought he was heading to the Annapolis Colts. Annapolis, of course, in Maryland.
This is beautiful.
I didn't know where Indianapolis was. I was never out of Jersey. First thing, you know, unless I went to Pittsburgh, back and forth.
Shoot straight down
That would have been the
95.
Annapolis Colts. Hey, quick, hey, my parents could come by the game. I mean, it's only 2.5 hours away, right down in Maryland. I mean, Annapolis, Indianapolis, Minneapolis. Very confusing. Didn't do very well in the geography.
But you eventually did find your way out, made the team as a rookie free agent, and the rest is history. Now, you did wind up in the state of Maryland, of course, with the Baltimore Ravens, not too far from Annapolis. Manning to Reggie Wayne. Wayne stays in bounds. Down at the Bucs, 41.
That's just smart on Reggie Wayne's. You know, you just get in, get the first down, stay in bounds, keep the clock running. I mean, not just Peyton Manning. We've been talking about him and how smart he is all day. But Wayne right here, just, hey, that's all you got to do. Just stay in bounds, let that clock run, you go home with a nice W.
It's the attention to detail that this group has. And, you know, it starts with Peyton Manning right there. I mean, I really think that he has a level of expectation that everybody works to gain favor in his eyes on how they do things. Their preparation, their work ethic, I think he sets the tempo and the tone for this offense, and everybody kind of falls in behind him.
There's Dawson. Keith hit the 100-yard mark for the first time in his career a couple of moments ago. Keith with a couple of touchdowns today. You know, talking about Peyton Manning, one of my favorite moments on Friday during our meeting with Peyton was when he told us, guys, when we are at our best, we don't even get to third down.
Why should we, you know, at 2nd and 7, why should we, you know, try and get it to 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3? Let's just get it now and get first down before we got to get into a 3rd down situation. We'll stay out of the 3rd and longs by getting into first down.
A lot of guys say that, but he's the guy who does it.
2nd and 7, play action. Manning was under pressure, throws it away. Greg Peterson in Manning's face. Clock stops, 5:19 remaining. Kenton Keith filling in for the injured Joseph Adai. 24 carries, 100 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. He has scored as many touchdowns today as he scored all of last season on the ground for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, we touched on it early in the game. You know, a credit to the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts. Tony Hugo, Ryan Lilja, Jeff Saturday, Jake Scott, Ryan Deem. I mean, the protection for Peyton Manning, and just this part right here, I mean, that's hard for them down on the line of scrimmage, all the communication.
3rd down and 7, and Keith picks up another Colts first down.
And obviously, Monty Kiffin, he saw it on the game film, getting ready to play against this offense. You know, they are better than they were last year, and the big reason, the running game.
12 more yards for Keith.
He's got a good feel, good patience. I mean, he fits into the zone blocking scheme that the Colts run very well. He's not at full speed when he gets the ball. He lets the running lane develop, and then he bursts through.
1st and 10 for the Bucs, 26. Keith again. And we've talked about all the changes here in Indianapolis, Darryl. Coming off a Super Bowl title, you know, other teams raid you for your players after you win a Super Bowl. Colts have 16 rookies and first-year players, most in the entire league. And behind the Green Bay Packers, they are the 2nd youngest team in the NFL.
That's scary.
And you look at what they've been able to do today without Marvin Harrison, without Joseph Adai, without Bob Sanders. 6 starters in all out of the Indianapolis lineup today. But the machine continues to roll along. looking to match the New England Patriots, who have started the season 5-0. New England with a 34-17 victory over Cleveland. So the Patriots, the Colts, and over in the NFC, Dallas and Green Bay remain unbeaten. Packers will host the Bears tonight. Cowboys travel to Buffalo for a game tomorrow night. On the other side, three teams still looking for their first win: the Rams, the Saints, and the Dolphins.
Unbelievable. The Saints, what a roller coaster. What were they, 3-13 2 years ago, to the NFC Championship game last year, to 0-4 this year.
Keith. Kent Keith looks to have yet another Colts first down. Remember, our yellow line is unofficial. And a timeout called by the Bucs with under 3 minutes remaining here in Indianapolis. .258 remaining, fourth quarter. A 35-yard field goal attempt. Adam Vinatieri hit from 27 earlier. Looking to make it a 3-possession game. Smith puts it down. Vinatieri's cook is good from 35 yards out. So the Colts lead over the Buccaneers is now 33-14.
Look at that, even in an AFC city, they know about us.
Fox's only trip to Indianapolis this season, and Fox's last trip to this dome. New stadium scheduled to open next season.
Looks nice, too. It's right next door. Looks real nice. Combination of Ford Field in Detroit and Reliant Stadium down in Houston.
We had a nice tour of the perimeter this morning.
Yeah, as we tried to find our way into the game.
Mark Jones on the return. And we remind you, we must mention it at least once in every Bucs broadcast. The Bucs have never returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Another plug for Canada. Eric Gagne, Montreal native, closing things out for the Red Sox. Bruce Gronkowski in a quarterback for the Bucs. Made 11 starts last season, and his first pass attempt this year is caught by Jeremy Stevens. Gronkowski in his second season out of Toledo took over last year following the injury suffered by Chris Sims, who is now the fourth-string quarterback. Buccaneers the only team carrying 4 QBs. Gronkowski 2 for 2, connects with Ike Hilliard. There's a flag on the far side of the field.
Another one just came out too. A little frustration coming out maybe.
So Garcia, 19 for 23 today, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, but unable to match what the Colts did offensively. Garcia has still not thrown an interception this season.
Offside, defense number 98, 5-yard penalty. The enforcement results in a first down.
Number 98 Colts, that used to be Tony's number, but now it's Robert Mathis is advised. Gronkowski complete to Hilliard. Hilliard spun around and brought down by Marlon Jackson after a gain of 2 as we approach 2 minutes remaining.
Well, this was a game that, we needed to find out a little bit about Tampa Bay. They've won 3 against 2 winless teams. They really controlled the game against Carolina, but this was going to be a big challenge for them today. And interesting to see what perspective John Gruden will take walking away from this game this afternoon.
Peyton Manning and the Colts 2 minutes away from a 5-0 record. Nice touch by Colts management during the last timeout during the 2-minute warning. A video tribute to former Colt Cato June up on the scoreboard. Ike Hilliard into Colts territory. Bethea made the tackle after a gain of 12. For the Colts, bye coming up for Cato June and the Bucs. Home against Tennessee next Sunday. Minute and a half remaining. Gronkowski looking for Galloway. It's picked off by Bethea. Antoine Bethea with his second career interception, his first this season. The first Buccaneers turnover today.
Trying to get Joey Galloway on that skinny post again. We've seen it a number of times today. This one's just a little bit too far out in front. Little deflection right to Antoine Bethea. And again, as Tony pointed out earlier with Reggie Wayne, yeah, I'm going to try and make something happen, but Tampa Bay's hustling. They got me bottled in. I'm just going to sit down. A well-coached team, the Indianapolis Colts. Attention to detail is evident throughout with each player, with each side of the ball.
And their coach, Tony Dungy, celebrated his 52nd birthday yesterday. Today, a win heading into the bye week as the Colts will become only the 4th team in history to start 5-0. 3 consecutive seasons. Great job by our entire crew, led by producer Barry Landis, director Michael Frank, associate directors Fran Morrison and Judy Wong, broadcast associate Chirag Devaskar, our technical producer Larry Barbatsoulis, technical director Chris Castro. Cheers for the Goose up on the video screen here in Indy. Crunching the numbers for us today, Eric Merlis, Rich Berg, Matt Banovic, and Ricky Camps. Great job by everybody. Pre-game show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The associate director is Stephanie Medina. The senior vice president of production is Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is former Annapolis native Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. The Indianapolis Colts set a new franchise record with their 12th consecutive regular season victory at home. They match the New England Patriots. Both teams are 5-0. They will meet on November 4th here in Indy. Tony Dungy getting together with one of his former players in Tampa, Derek Brooks. Peyton Manning all smiles. He threw 2 touchdown passes. Kenton Keith ran in for 2 more as the Colts win it 33-14 over the Bucs. We'll return after these messages.